Hello, friends. Hello, it's Tosca Reno here. I'm so glad to be back in your world just for a few moments. Thanks for sharing some time with me. Know that every time I reach out to you, I've been thinking about you well before I ever get to this part where I'm in front of the screen. I think about how wellness counts in your life, what you think about for yourselves regarding, how you feel, what you look like, your weight, your life, basically. So I give this a lot of thought and I try to write meaningful information for you in my blogs. So what came up for me recently, I heard a lot of conversations about diets. And I thought, this question, you kept posing this question actually about intermittent fasting, paleo diet, sort of dieting in general. And I thought maybe it's time for us to have a conversation about that. So I've shared a lot of my thoughts about diets themselves on my blog, and I encourage you to go have a look at toscareno.com/blog. There is one particularly there called Diet Trends. Okay, so first of all, that I, Tosca Reno, have come a long way in my own life. I'm approaching 20 years that I've been living the Eat Clean lifestyle, but when I started, I was very much a diet mad woman. I weighed 204 pounds, was struggling with blood sugar dysregulation, heart disease, depression, lack of purpose in my life, definitely not a healthy person. And I found a way to clean up my life, but not before I kicked the tires at a bunch of crazy diets. I definitely, you see the picture I'm in my blog, is I'm throwing around some cabbages. Have you ever tried to eat cabbage straight for like, I don't know, 2 weeks, 10 days? It's horrible and you smell. Okay, but what's really important is what diet works. And we thought in the day, the 80s, the 90s, dieting was everything, everything. And diet is and isn't. If we think about diet in a neutral term as the food we eat on a daily basis, then yes, that's a healthy way to think about it. But dieting got to be all about getting into your skinny pants or being a skinny bitch or being skinny. And now we've had a full pull back into a more healthy approach to how to gain wellness and to shed weight. Okay, but in the meantime, we're still experimenting with various diets. For example, intermittent fasting comes up a lot. I think Jennifer Aniston just came out last week and said, it's the way, it's the holy grail, it's the Trinity, whatever. Here's my thing. Intermittent fasting, if you're doing eating clean, intermittent fasting happens automatically because I really strongly encourage that you stop eating after your last meal, which could be the 6 o'clock window. For example, last night I had my last meal at 6 o'clock and I did not eat again until 9 o'clock this morning. So there's already a built-in period of fasting where you go to bed at night and your body's doing its detox work. If you don't want to listen to me blather on anymore, because I have a few more things to say, just go right to this blog, toscareno.com/intermittent fasting and diet trends. I have a free gift for you. It helps you navigate all the confusion about dieting. It just gives you a quick and dirty download, if you will. So please help yourself to that. I encourage you to take it. It's free. I wrote it. It's free for you. It's complimentary. It's a way for me to, or for you to make sense of the diet lifestyle. But back to intermittent fasting, there's lots of different ways you can do intermittent fasting. I know people who basically don't eat from, I don't know when the last meal, but they say they really basically don't eat until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So assuming that they haven't eaten anything since their last meal, which who knows what it could be, might be 8 o'clock at night. Well, that's a long period to go without food. That's fine. But what were you eating before you went to bed? You see, so if you're dumping a whole lot of stuff in yourself because you're just going to be starving for the next however many hours, a fast or intermittent fasting really just implies a period where you're really going 12 to 14 to maybe 16 hours without food. And as I say, if you're eating clean, if you follow the Eat Clean lifestyle, which you can find in your free download below, the guideline to it, you're already doing that. So I don't personally feel I need to fast. But intermittent fasting, the point of it is that there are a number of different ways to do it, and it has to make sense for you. So a diet trend is really something that's quite temporary. And what you want is a diet lifestyle, a way of eating and living that makes sense for you for the rest of your life. So I explain a bit more about the intermittent fasting. And then I also talk about different ways that intermittent fasting happens, because there's periods that you can go without food, and then there's the 5-2 intermittent fast. Now we're going to go into paleo. So I particularly think that paleo got really, really fun and fancy because it was how our ancestors ate, right? And there's a heavy emphasis on eating meat and whatever else is at hand with regard to, say, greens, but no carbs. Well, and right there, okay, my brain just gets fried right there, because honestly, greens and fruit are carbohydrate. I think what they mean is in paleo, you're eating no grains, okay? So I, for eating clean, make the distinction that you're talking about green carbs, which comes from green vegetables, fruit carbs, which comes from fruit, and grain carbs, which come from grains, obviously. So the problem with not having grains, especially for menopausal women, hear this, is you're missing out on so many of the important essential fatty acids and lignans that help offset some of the symptoms of menopause, perimenopause particularly. So this can be very damaging to how you're going to manage the big change of your life. So we have to be very careful when we say, I eat paleo, that, well, are you getting all the nutrients that you need in order to manage your climacteric, your hormonal changes? So again, all diets require balance. And if you want a really easy guide, just download this gift that I have created for you, Just the Rules, the quick view on how to eat clean. It's at toscareno.com/blog. You can find it there. It's the blog about intermittent fasting. So I love this quote by Buddha. And basically he says, and this is why I think balance is the answer for all things. He says to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep the mind strong and clear. 100%. Clean, solid nutrition is information for your cells. Don't you just love thinking about information for your cells as what nutrients are? So I just think every opportunity to eat clean / at every meal is an opportunity to inject this ton of nutrients into your body, therefore making you well on the whole. Never mind about the fasting, never mind about the paleo. I'll guide you through what makes sense for you for the rest of your life. And I just want to remind you too, I'll wrap it up now, that I look forward to your comments. If you take offense to what I'm saying or have a question, or you want to take me on about something, put it in the comments. As long as this is a respectful conversation, I want that conversation with you. Finally, here's what I'm going to say. Lifestyle trumps all else when managing wellness. Lifestyle, that is what you consume, how you move your physical body, and how you take care of your head heart space. So if you can manage all of those, you're doing grand. And I am going to help you get there. Because why? Because my passion is your wellness. I look forward to reading your comments very soon. Make sure to submit them down below. I want this to be a robust conversation where we figure out what makes sense for you. All right, over and out. Have a wonderful day.